Folks, it is day 19 of playing Minecraft every day for the month of July. Observer's still dormant, so I'm going to take advantage of that. And not only am I going to deck myself out in this episode, I'm going to go get the Smithing and Style achievements, the remaining 2 armor trims that I need, but I'm also going to deck out Observer for when he gets back, and we're going to build a house. Luckily, some of the stuff that I need is inside of the nether. I want to get some fire resistance potions, because the remaining 2 armor trims that we have, we've got Snout, which you can find inside of the Bastion remnants, and we've got Rib. That's the Nether Fortress one. So we're gonna do those. I'm gonna make some fire resistance real quick. That seems helpful. You know what, even for like the, whatchamacallit, it might be nice to have invisibility potions where possible. Yeah, I'm gonna make some of those. For the piglin brutes, I just don't wanna deal with them. And I'm hoping that works. I have no clue. But I woke up today, I had a little bit of a later start today, just because I had a late night last night, and part of that was that I was designing this build. If I'm being completely honest with you folks, I don't really get the chance to build much in Minecraft. I know we do a bunch of build hacks videos, and, you know, we get to use the maps of some amazing builders, like Gemini Tay, or Blue Nerd, or Antler Boy and stuff. Like, they're all fantastic builders. And the people that we have on our team are great too. Observer, for example, another great builder. But me personally, I'm learning as I go. I can figure out sometimes what to do from watching other people, but like myself, I don't know. So just figuring it out. But it was fun to get to design it. I don't really get to mess around with creative that much. So yeah, I woke up today. I got lunch. It was kind of a weird situation at lunch. So I've been going to Chipotle the last few days, just because, if I'm being completely honest, it's easier than thinking of what to get. It's just easier to default to that. A lot of my brain power has just been going to the July series and all the stuff that we're doing here. So if I have the opportunity to just focus on the stuff that I want to be doing and leave food as just a known quantity, I'm gonna take that. And that's what I've been doing lately, and, you know, it's worked out. It's a consistent product, I'll give them that. This time it was a little weird, though. So I go in, I lean over the glass, right? I'm checking what they have. I'm usually a white rice guy, but they were out of the white rice, and they had a bit of the brown rice left. And I go, okay, brown rice it is. Here's another fortress, we can check this one. So I'm peering over, the person comes over, takes my order, right? And I say, hi, I'll get a bowl to go, please. And he says, oh, well, we're out of rice. And I said, but what about that rice? And I gestured towards the brown rice, and he's like, yeah, but we only have a little left. I was like, well, that's fine. I'll just take the remaining. And then, I mean, the rest of the order just went as normal, but it was so weird just to be like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's earmarked as our other rice. You don't get that rice. I was like, I think I'm perfectly in my rights. First of all, I'm only getting half rice because I'm trying to cut down on carbs. So they gave me half rice, and there was still plenty of rice left. If any other brown rice lovers were to come through, they were going to get rice. I wasn't depriving someone there. That's a really cool fossil. It's like built into here. This isn't the rib trim, but they're using a rib as the trim. That's neat. Yeah, I'm grabbing bone blocks because I have a plan to use some of those in the build for Observer. Oh, that's an uncomfortable amount of blaze that I'm hearing. Gold, I guess that's nice in case I need any boots, but I'll break that. Oh, more gold. Wow, really? This is really as no buses come for an hour and then 3 come in 15 minutes. I'll take it. But I had a late night. I was already staying up late just because of work stuff, and then right as I get in bed, doing the typical doom scrolling thing, right? My girlfriend texts me, which already makes it, she ruined doom scrolling because she's not Doom, so that wasn't in the spirit of it. But she messages me, and she's like, hey, are you still up or whatever? And I was like, yeah, but how are you still up? She actually has a job that she has to wake up early for. She works in tech. So I was like, oh boy, I forgot about that. And she's like, yeah, how long are you gonna be up for? And I was like, I don't know, I have no clue. and she came over, and we just got to talk, which was really nice. I think it's easy to forget how important just those little things are, right? It's so easy to get caught up in our own stuff that we forget how much just simply our presence can be helpful for someone else. And in that case, it was really helpful for me. You know, I don't know if it was helpful for her. I mean, for me, it was getting to talk to her for an hour, but for her, it was having to talk to me for an hour, which is like getting your name called in the draft. But all of that said, it was really pleasant to get to just chat with her, and I don't know, I did forego a little bit of sleep to do that, but I think there is a concept of, hey, Witherskull, just give me that, please, thanks. I'll put some of this stuff away. Ow, 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 ow. There's too much stuff in my inventory. I don't want this much stuff. Thank you. Actually, I do. Don't take that as an invite to take my stuff. I don't want to die in this episode, please. Let me fly away from some of these guys. This is not helping my aura right now. I do want to build with a little bit of these. Does this not have any? I thought these were insta-mine. I guess it is faster, but man, you must need like efficiency 5 or something. But I think there's different ways to kind of restore yourself, right? And like I could have gotten a little bit of extra sleep and not seen her, but then that would have, you know, not restored. That would have restored me physically, but not, you know, emotionally or mentally. I don't know what you want to label that as. And I think that's it's a concept that I remember hearing Casey Neistat talk about. Though he talks about it in kind of a way that I don't fully agree with. There was this video that someone made called Casey Neistat's Guide for Life or Rules for Life, and it's just clips from his videos where he's talking to camera and explaining some of his I don't know, just how he sees the world, right? And a lot of it is very interesting. Casey's a very wise, interesting person. There are some things, though, that I do not necessarily... Did he jump? He jumped and then gave me a skull. That's probably my favorite wither skeleton, I just killed him. I guess... Another skull?! Do you know the odds of that? Wait, is that all 3 of the most recent ones that I've killed I've gotten a skull from? Because that's like an infinitesimally small chance. Wow, that's pretty cool, I gotta say. But in Casey Neistat's video, he talks about how he believes that you can use exercise as basically a replacement for sleep. He's not someone who sleeps a lot. So he's talking about it, and he says, you know, if you need to sleep for 8 hours, then if you instead were to work out for 2 hours, then you only need to sleep for 6 hours or whatever. And I think there's a little bit of a point there of, you know, you exercise and that helps with sleep quality anyway. However, I do think you very much need sleep. There's also just some people who don't need the same amount of sleep to function as others. And he might be one of those people, and in that case, that's very tough advice to follow for a lot of people. I digress. All of that to say, I think there's that function with some of the other things in your life. My dad talks about it. He says everyone has, you know, pillars of their life that they have going to feel good about themselves. You know, your kind of core things, whether that's work or family or your own like personal health and all that kind of stuff. Everyone has pillars, and if those pillars are lacking, then like if you think of it like a building, right? Then that load is going to be distributed onto the other pillars, which then puts a lot more weight on other things. You know, if you're throwing yourself into work and then work starts going wrong, then all of a sudden it becomes a lot more stressful when work isn't doing well. I've had times like that all the time in my channel, you know, where I've neglected other parts of my life, and then when that energy goes into work, then if I get a video that says that it didn't do as well as I was hoping it would, that's crushing. And I don't think that's a fair amount of pressure to put on anything, really. to put on myself or to put on work or anything like that. I think there's some value there, and it's just gets me to reflect on how little things, like whether or not you reach out to that person, could really make all the difference as far as like how they feel in their day. How their kind of pillar is. Even it might help you, right? So I think you got to make sure that you're tending to all your pillars. There's only so much tension that you can add to things before they snap. Oh yeah, baby! And diamonds to boot. Spoiling me. Well, cool. We got rib, so now it's just snout. I keep wanting to say spire. Spire's the one that you find in the end. But no, we got rib. Now it's time to get snout, which makes way more sense because it comes from piglins, so I should know that. I don't know, spire? What does spire mean for the end? It inspires me to die and lose all my stuff, apparently. Oh my god, I just checked analytics while I was taking a little breather before starting. The most recent short that we put out is doing 6.3 times better than average. It's got 100,000 views in the first hour. Holy cow, guys. I mean, thank you. Wow. I guess that could kind of go into a larger topic. I am taken aback at how much support we've gotten over the subscribe pixel thing. It was something I was very excited about doing. I don't know if I could have pictured that it would have gone this well. It's really cool to, I don't know, have this way to like show everyone's part in this community, and then like see all the new people who are joining and things. Like it's very surreal to me. Fun fact about that image, it was programmed, like the sub reveal thing was programmed by my dad, which I just think is awesome. Yeah, shout out to my dad on that, but wow, that's cool. It is a treat for me genuinely every day now to go through and check comments on the whole series. It's definitely getting becoming a longer task to do as we're uploading more episodes. After this, there'll be 19 episodes for me to check the comments on. But I look forward to each and every one of them. I don't know, it's new for me to open up and kind of get any amount of like vulnerability on camera. Like it's new for me to kind of get to talk more earnestly to you all, and then to like see that reciprocated and people share their own stories is just cathartic, I suppose is the word for it. It's really wholesome. I read comments where people tell me that they're currently in the hospital and they're getting to watch this as they're recovering. I hope that they're recovering well. There's some people who talk about watching this with their partner, or watching this with their family, their siblings, all these things, and to get to hear that it's not just something that I just put out into the world and it just exists like that, but that it's also able to bring people a little closer in their own lives and like give people something to do. That's a very humbling thing. It doesn't feel real. I think it kind of hits in waves. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to fully process the weight of that kind of stuff. I really should drink a fire resistance potion, and probably an invisibility potion. I don't know what triggers the rest from here, but I don't want to find out. So we're just gonna go and break that. Netherite, diamond, sweeping edge 3 is actually really cool. Past that, there's like nothing else that I want. Ow. Do I have sweeping edge 3 on this already? I do. Well, I'll take it for another sword. The sword that I lost in the Great Reset, dang it. This gives me flashbacks. This is the Bastion setup of when I lost all my stuff on No Name. And I had to spend my Super Bowl weekend getting all my stuff back. Oh, no. Okay. Arrows, that's good. Bone blocks I kind of actually want right now. Golden carrots I'll take. Don't give me the scary little stinger, please. Can we just rule that out? Thank you very much. I guess we're on to the next bastion. Can I pick off any of these? Look at all the little hitboxes. All right. Yeah, because all the XP looks different here too. What is going on? I was meaning to place a block, but the lava was perfect for that. See you later, loser. Awesome. Still no. Still not really anything good. Oh, we have another chest here. I guess we could try that. Yeah, baby! Oh, I was just about to rule this place out. I'm so glad that I didn't. Thank you! Folks, we're about to get an achievement. We're about to get 2 of them, actually. Let me grab some quartz on my way out, because I need this for the build that I'm doing for Observer. Noobster blocktage. That's why it's good to take the fire resistance potion. That sounds like a jingle that would be in like Fallout, like a 50s atomic era jingle. When you're falling into lava, what do? You take a fire resistance potions, now you're through the nether. Up again here, it's helpful. That's why you see, I don't want to die. That won't fill me with glee. It'll fill me with hate and rage, and I'll probably go and unleash it. Go postal, whatever that means. All right, let's make duplicates of these trims. All right, what are we thinking? Diamonds first? Yeah, I think we treat ourselves with a little bit of diamondos. Oh, ain't that just a thing of beauty, folks? Ah, that's 51. That's pretty good. And then let's duplicate these. Okay, that's duplicates of all of them except for the clay one, but we don't need that even for the achievement. So, oh, all right, we're ready to temp it up. All right, so my armor I decided to use for legs. It was silence. I was doing diamond on them because I thought that looked cool. Yeah, look at that. Crafting a new look, baby. These ones were flow trim. A chest plate was wild. And my helmet, I like sentry, but I kind of like it, the one that I mocked up. Do I even have emeralds here? Yeah. There we go. Please don't judge this look. It cost me so many diamonds. Well, that's my gear done. I now have to make the rest of this. So we have to do, that's flow, that's silence, and that's sentry. And we have to have it with the following: spire, snout, rib, ward, vex, tide, wayfinder. Smithing with style, folks. Oh, we did it. All right, I'm gonna go get the mineral, the rest of the materials for Observer's house. I would love a potion of haste. If I could just chug a potion of haste too, have a minute 30 of just rocking this and then leave, that'd be great. I don't know what it would be that you would drink. For the gag of it, I would love to just see like you drink a pickaxe. Just an iron pickaxe, and that's all you need. Oh, that's a cool ship. That's awesome. That just generated on its side on wall. That's so cool. I like that a lot. That looks really neat. These are such annoying trees to mine. Okay, let's do it. I feel like I'm in Jumanji with a machete. This looks awesome. Where's the Rock? We're in his one outfit that he wears all the time. Deep slate tiles, nice. These can all go to mangrove planks. Come on, Nosy. Yep, just move away from there. Okay, you're still very nosy. You're living up to your name. All right, we thinking right here, maybe? Okay. So, the way that I decided to do my palette for this was that I was looking at I watched a video by, let me get their name so I get this right. It was a video by Henry Paca. Fantastic video. First of all, their editing is amazing. And then their advice was really good. So they were just saying, you know, use basically traditional color theory when making palettes. I went onto just a regular color palette, 5-color palette generator website, and just did that. And then there's an app called blockcolors.app that I used, which lets you translate hex code values. So like traditional web color values into block colors and then save your palette that way. Super helpful. Oh my gosh. So I did that and that was awesome. There we go. Perfect. All right, we want the red terracotta. I guess while I'm building Observer a house, now would be a good time to kind of talk about some of the Observer lore questions that we get. I mean, it's funny, right? Because I thought that when we talked about it in the first episode that Observer was there, you know, we kind of talked about, or at least I talked about, like, this is just someone I work with who's just helping out. And that's still true. I do love all the theories and that, all the fan art. Observer and I get a big kick out of it. The whole team does, really. I think it's really cool to have this character that, even though doesn't talk, gets to have a big role in our videos, right? That's still very much true. Observer is someone we work with. It's a member of the team. You know, I first worked with Observer, gosh, it would have been 2020? April of 2020, I believe. Because Observer, if you've ever seen the original video that we did of showing off things to do when you're bored at home in Minecraft, that's Observer's survival world. A lot of people thought that I had joined SciCraft. I hadn't. Observer's just a very technical Minecraft player. That's why I'm lucky to ask Observer questions every now and then. But yeah, Observer is just someone that I know through a friend of a friend. And since we worked in some small ways before they joined the team, but now they're a big part of the team. And help out on the creative side. Observer built the mod showcase map. If you've ever seen those videos. The test site that we're in, which we need a more formal name for. If anyone ever has an idea, put it in the comments because I would love to read that. But that site was built by Observer. That's why I hope that this build looks good because Observer is a way better builder than I am. So if it isn't, Observer will be the first to know that Observer could have done better. You know, some of the lore that I've seen for Observer was that it was a redstone project gone wrong. I guess it depends on who you're asking. I think it went right. You know, there's people who say that Observer was wronged by the cows in some way, and so that's why Observer chose the steak. I mean, maybe. I think Observer's just a good enforcer, if you will. So whenever the cows bust out and it bothers me, Observer's right there with the steak to show them what they're missing. Now the question is Observer always hungry, or is Observer never able to eat? Does he have a bottomless stomach, or does he have no stomach, and that's why he's still on the same steak from episode 2? These are the important questions here, folks. All right, time to start the staircase already for the roof. Alrighty. But yeah, actually, speaking candidly, like Observer, I met when I was in a place in my life where it was very much I needed a friend. I'd gotten out of the hospital and I was pretty sad still. Observer was a friend of actually Spencer, who we're now calling Dispenser, by the way. I saw someone put that in the comments that call my roommate Dispenser. I love it, so that's the new name. But yeah, Dispenser's cousin, which I guess is, I don't know, a dropper, was on this Minecraft server with Observer, and he works in the medical field. So he was very much willing to talk to me after I'd kind of been through some hard times, and I just got to talk with him, and you know, he was like, oh, I got this server that you can join if you want to, and I was not doing anything much of anything at that point. So I just said, yeah, I guess so. That sounds nice. And I joined, and I was welcomed by Observer, who owns the server, and Dropper, I guess if we're keeping up that thread of the story. And they immediately showed me around, and I remember being overwhelmed by their world. I mean, you can see it all in that board at home video. They have an automatic tree farm. They have a mob switch. Mob switches have since become a lot easier to build. They built it out of one with withers. And for those who don't know what a mob switch is, it's basically a thing in the game where you can make it so that no more hostile mobs spawn. And it's a really cool system. Nowadays, you're able to do it with like shulkers, and you're able to do it with things like that. Shulkers and what else? If you trade with a zombie villager, then that works too. But they did it with withers. And in that is one of my favorite clips ever of Minecraft. We'll run it here. It's a clip of that we simply have titled The Day of Reckoning, which was the day that it all exploded.
Oh no!
It all fell apart, and all the withers escaped. They broke the obsidian that was keeping them in, and just like that, 300 or so withers just leaked onto the world. Because for every player that you have on the server that actively plays to disable, it adds another 70 to the mob cap or so. So if you can imagine it, you had to have, for just a few players, it quickly gets up to like, 4 players, you need 280, which is just ridiculous. And that was the situation. So it all broke out, and yeah, that was just a very fun server to play on. Observer helped with the research for the Myths video that we did, the Minecraft Myths video. Observer helped with the Among Us recording. That server just very, very fun. It was very helpful for me at that time, just to be able to log on. Like, COVID had just started, the lockdown had just started. So just having a way to get to hang out and play with other people who have the same fascination in the game that I did. And I mean, that's underselling them. They're all pros in their own right? So I was blown away by the progress they were able to make in that game. And they still do. They still play that world. And if we, maybe someday convince Observer to do a tour, I think that'd be cool. There's something weird about reuniting it with the mangrove as I'm doing this. Just, brothers once again. It's like putting the cheese and the burger together in the hamburger. It's like these both cow products, but no longer. Now here's a question I get, is people will ask, why is Observer in some episodes and not in others? The fun answer is saying like, oh, he flew away, he went to a different world. But like, no, it's a daily series, and Observer doesn't work daily. So simple as that. We work odd weekends, so like, not only is there a little bit of a buffer for putting out these episodes so that we can make them daily, but then also like we upload on weekends, right? So our weekends are weird by normal standards anyway. It's a very untraditional workplace. I'm lucky that I've found people who are so willing to join me in this weird journey, because for a while it was just me, which I'm thankful for. I like being able to know how the different parts of production work firsthand, right? It helps for being able to talk about some of the things knowledgeably. But yeah, to get these videos out daily for you, we're working daily as well, right? But Observer has other responsibilities outside of just being the Observer in the series, so it's a little different. It's amazing to me how much acacias look like nacho cheese. This is where we're cracking open a bottle of that Doritos, you know what I'm saying? That small batch. And for you, madame, our finest Doritos. I'll just take a Chardonnay. I really don't. we don't need to reinvent the wheel for me here. That being said, if any of you have like headcanon and ideas for Observer's lore and stuff, that makes me so happy to see. This has been a really refreshing way for me to get my own creativity flowing through Minecraft. Like if any of you are able to like show yours as well, I think that's just spectacular. All the fan art that we see is really, it's just so cool. You know, my parents are blown away. They look at fan art and stuff, whether that's for No Name or for now the July series and stuff, and to them that's just a wild concept, right? Like my parents are older, and so like they don't grow up with like fandom or any of these kind of ideas that we have. My parents don't know what Undertale is, you know what I mean? Homestuck, a stan, they don't know any of that stuff. I'm gonna get my mom calling me after this, just gonna ask me, what do these things mean? I'm gonna have to explain to my mom what a stan is. But all of that said, to them, the concept of like doing fan art, you know, for just the simple art of loving something and, you know, showing it to other people who also appreciate the same thing, it's foreign to them. So if you ever do a piece of fan art, you can rest assured that it's probably going to be seen by at least one of my parents. So there you go. I love the sounds of bone blocks. This is probably my favorite block sound. Let's do the windows now. Whoops. That poor block does not know what's going on. Don't worry, we're gonna send help. There you go. I know this is just a temporary lighting solution right now. I gotta figure out a better one. I don't want it to be dark when I'm showing it to Observer. And then for the piece of resistance, the pièce de résistance. There we go. See, I knew I shouldn't have cut down this tree because, folks, welcome to the Redstone Rendezvous. It still needs a few touches to it. Like, I would like to go and add some more decorative blocks around it. I don't really know what to do with the front. I gotta make that stairs. But as far as, like, I don't think it's that bad. I'll be completely honest, I don't know really how to decorate interiors right now. I would like to start looking at some of our past build hacks videos, though, and see if I can repurpose any of those. But I do have one idea for it. We got dispenser for my roommate, the crafter for my girlfriend, because she makes me feel whole. Aww. Yeah. She doesn't look like this in real life. And then we'll have where Observer sits right here, head of the table, and this could be my seat. Nice. Well, we'll have to see what Observer thinks of it, but in the meantime, let's light this up because, folks, that's going to be it for day 19. This is where we're at with the image. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you all tomorrow on the 20th. I'll also be seeing Observer. Oh, look at that. Now we've got, like, an actual house in the background. And my plans for tomorrow? I'm making my house better, too. Yeah, Observer can't be the only nice one on the block. I guess it's all on the block. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, all right?